Hello, everybody. I have a few things today. I think the most urgent thing is the obvious, which is um, Biden's ridiculous plan to replicate China as a nation model. How rude! Like yeah. I didn't even get a forget about me. Let's talk about the guy. At least you know I'm okay. I mean, I live on my own. I live on very little means. I don't have a family anymore. My kids are in training to be adults. But seriously, like what? And I totally feel like it's like a childish like thing between him and Trump, where like Trump got his turn to share Biden's toy, and now the toy is back in Biden's hands, and now he's going to do everything better. And better means that he's just going to like undo everything that Trump did because he has like kid issues. Like senior citizens usually behave. I mean, that's what senior citizens are like. They turn into children, even more so than the rest of us, because there's some of us too, I know. But either way, I mean, so I'm thinking like, wow. Okay, so let's get serious. Um, okay, so I don't know a lot about like what each of everything entails, but I'm very intuitive that way, that I know that everything that he's doing is like totally like there's no substance behind it. There's nothing like that would like like no, this is what's going to be better for me. Like it's like for me because it's my toy. So okay. Anyhow, yeah, that's upsetting, but it's upsetting because I feel that we're being set up. Um I don't think we should I have foresight. I like to think of myself as a person that has foresight. I can do the like read between the lines and do the math and you know get to a conclusion. Like if you're doing like here's the consequences of what you're doing. It's not going to work. Not here. Not and why would it? Why would it have to? Why would it have to? I mean, so it's upsetting because I do think that it's a setup. I think that he's not obviously like he's so like low IQ, and he's basically he's an actor at the end of the day. He's a rehearsed. I wouldn't say polished. I say he's rehearsed lines his whole life on what he thinks makes the public feel comfortable or uncomfortable enough that they won't say anything, whichever. Uh, um, but so I think that that's all he is at the end of the day. He's very mundane, like so ordinary. Um, there's really okay. So, but that's besides the point because what's really bad about Biden is that he's setting himself up to win a game of Monopoly against Trump. That's what he's doing. He's basically lining up his chips to win the game of Monopoly so that he comes out and I'm not saying that, and this is what sucks because like politicians, they're like always fighting against like, corporate world, and the corporate world has like the golden parachutes and they're making like way too like ridiculous amounts of money. But and so I wouldn't mind, like, sure, you deserve to be rich and well off, but I mean, really? Like, do you have to go this far? This far to keep us at the verge of war every time you might lose the game? If you lose the game, if you lose a few, like if you might not be making, the deal over here, then oh no, all hell will break loose, right? And shit hits the fan and the whole deal, there we go. We're in a Cold War. There's tension between nations. And it sucks because because our president is supposed to be the person that is not the person that plays those games. Our president is supposed to be the person that keeps everybody else on check so that nobody else plays those games. But he's the one that's putting that example. He truly is. I mean, why do you think he's taking the money from Ukraine? Because Putin doesn't care. Putin's like, yeah, I'll pay you the bribe. If we have to kick your ass, we'll kick your ass. But I'm just gonna pay you instead so that I don't have to. So Biden just goes, oh, I don't have to worry about him then. He gave me a bribe. We're good. I'm in my bed. We're like, keep it on the low, 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 low. But like with China, he's still trying to like see if he can, like, maybe Chinese like still have a little bit of ethics, like maybe they're a little bit like more difficult for for Biden to read. So he's kind of using them, he thinks he's using them, but at the end of the day, China's like, oh no, China knows when the United States is going to go in there and try and do the whole, what's it called, coup, the coup thing. I really do feel that that's like probably where they are right now, like, oh my god, nope. Don't let them in. Like, so I think that that's where they are, and I think that they're just being like smart and standoffish, and they just want to be traditional. They're very Eastern thinkers. Not Putin. Putin's like, you're just gonna have another president later, and everything's gonna change. I'll still be in power. Everything's good. Here's your $100,000. I'll pay it to you from Ballerina Adelina, whatever her name is, and give you throw in a diamond in there, and we're good. That with China, it's more like, I think Biden thinks like he still has a strategy in China, like, like he knows people in the joint venture world that manages money, that knows about real estate. So he thinks he has like the upper hand on China because of that, but I don't think so. I don't really think so. So anyhow, I know it sounds like funny. That's probably because I didn't sleep the whole night, because I chose not to. I chose to just kind of like, if like I was afraid of just having nightmares, really, at the end of the day is what happened. But I'll just self-medicate and sleep it off a little bit later. Anyhow, so that's what I had to say, but let's open the Bible, because I didn't do that last time. I remember. All right, so let's see. Okay, it's like Bible lottery. Okay, Maccabees. So I landed in Maccabees, and let's read from Maccabees 1 Maccabees 11, verse 14. The section I'll read is the deaths of Alexander and Ptolemy. So King Alexander was in Cilicia at that time, because the people of that region had revolted. When Alexander heard the news, he came to challenge Ptolemy in battle. Ptolemy marched out and met him with a strong force and put him to flight. Alexander fled to Arabia to seek protection. King Ptolemy's triumph was complete. When the Arabs Abdiel cut off Alexander's head and sent it to Ptolemy, but 3 days later, King Ptolemy himself died, and his men in the fortified cities were killed by the inhabitants of the strongholds. Thus, Demetrius became king in the year 167. What? Oh my god, I'm like really bad with like family charts. Yeah. Okay, so anyhow, what? Okay, so that sounds like really like complicated, but let's apply it to what's going on now. the oligarchs. Is that the oligarchs are probably going to get us into war. We have to be strong. I mean, I don't want to go to war. I'll be the first one to go, down to the civic center and protest. I was thinking of protesting early on. I was thinking of actually protesting now, just because I hate crowds and I don't really want to like be a part of like a crew. That's kind of cuckoo, I know. But also, like seriously, like I don't want to go to war. I think that if anybody should die, it's the leaders that get us into war. Sorry, Joe, but when you want to go there, you have to be the person. I mean, you can't do what you're doing. You can't. And don't put anybody's life at risk if you're not willing to fight yourself, because you're just being ridiculous. I mean, you're being there's a very strong word for that I'm trying to find something a little more friendly, but it's impossible. Um so yeah, I think that that's how I would apply that verse in the Bible. So but this is what it comes down to, because even if obviously, joke, I mean, come on. But I mean, my 10-year-old girl could have probably knocked him out, um uh yeah, I mean, if things go on this way and something goes wrong, people are just not going to have to put up with it. Study history a little bit, read the Bible. You're Catholic, right? Read the Bible. And just know, eventually you're putting everybody's life at risk, and you are also not going to be the person that actually steps up to the plate when it comes to it. You're just playing games, and it involves people's lives. So that's all I have to say. But I don't know, hate me, love me, whatever. See you guys soon. Bye.